Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about AI and the legal profession. So, over the last few months, there's been a couple of stories, and I've reported on them, where an individual or individuals have gone to ChatGPT asking for, mental health advice. And I think at least in one instance, a young man took his own life on the advice of ChatGPT, which was really sad. Now, over the years, whenever I put out a video, talking about the work we do or commenting on maybe an article that I read and how it relates to the work that we do. And I've said, look, one of the reasons I put out these videos is so that you get the information that you need so that you can understand how things work in the real world, right? Based on speaking to thousands of families over the years. And how it might, say, a case may be different than, say, in Miami-Dade versus Palm Beach versus Volusia versus Pinellas versus Pasco. You get the idea, right? And the reason I started making those kinds of videos is because over the years, people were going to Google and getting legal advice from Google. And, the information they were getting was just completely wrong. It was garbage. One of the things I've seen now is instead of going to Google, people are going to ChatGPT. What should I do? If my loved one has a drug issue, what should I do if they've got, mental illness? What is a guardianship? How long does a guardianship take to file? How much time should the attorney, be working on this file? What should the attorney's fees be? What should the cost be? All of this stuff. And some of the stuff I'm seeing is, to be perfectly blunt, just absolute garbage. Now, I don't know how many guardianship cases ChatGPT has actually handled, how many Marchman Act cases or how many Baker Act cases ChatGPT is, successfully litigated. I know how many we've handled. I know how many families we've represented. I know how many families that we have spoken to over the years. I can tell you personally, I've spoken to thousands of parents over the years, either on the phone, on, like a Zoom meeting, in person, because I do a lot of public speaking. The point is that if I give you an opinion, which you don't have to agree with, if I give you an option, which you don't have to take, about what I think, might be applicable to your particular family situation based on, the information you give to me, and you decide not to take it, well, that's perfectly okay. It's a no judgment zone here. I just give you options, okay? And then you can decide what you want. What I'm starting to see lately is people who seem to think that ChatGPT is not only their friend, but is a really good source of, legal information about how we should do our job and what we should charge and how long it should take. And I appreciate that you want to get information. I do. And I make these videos so that you can get that information and get the correct information. But if you're going to rely on ChatGPT to give you information about, the work that we do, or, frankly, the work that any other lawyer does, because maybe you could Google, ChatGPT about a criminal case or a car accident or a divorce, and you're going to rely on that as opposed to taking the advice of a seasoned expert who's a specialist, not a jack of all trades who does car accidents, divorces, criminal work, and divorces and all that other stuff. I'm talking about a specialist. If you're going to rely on ChatGPT over a specialist, then honestly, I don't know what to tell you. All I can tell you is that when you hire us, you're hiring us because this is the work that we specialize in. And if you're not looking for a specialist, then okay, I may not be the right lawyer for you. I'm perfectly okay with that. And listen, sometimes clients call us and I'll tell them, I don't think we can help you. Or I think there's a different option here that does not involve hiring us. I don't know. There are plenty of lawyers out there who'll take any case because they just want to put money in their pocket, which is fine. That's not me. There are plenty of lawyers who'll take a case knowing they can't win it or knowing they can't prove it. Or they simply won't bother to tell you there's a better option here that does not involve going to court. Fine, that's how they practice, good for them. That's not how we do things here. But if my team gives you an opinion or an option, it's because it's based on all of the cases and all of the families we've ever spoken to. It's not something we pull out of ChatGPT. So I wanted to share that with you. I don't think you should call any lawyer and then, say, oh, well, ChatGPT told me this, that, and the other. Maybe there'll be a point in time, probably, long after I stop practicing, where artificial intelligence will replace us. Hopefully not, but maybe that time will come. But right now, not today. Not today. So I just want to share that with you. because I want you to get the information that you need. And I don't want you to see you make a mistake, because in my world, when a family decides not to act, the consequences can be severe. Yeah, people die. And I hate to be blunt, but if you've watched any of my other videos, I don't sugarcoat this stuff because it's serious in nature. So that's my 2 cents. Don't rely on ChatGPT. It's not your friend, nor is it your lawyer. Have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.